In a pluralistic society like ours, there are responsibilities as well as rights. You don't only get the freedom to live how you choose to live, you have to respect other people's rights to do so too. The reality of those values is far superior to anything the extremists have to offer anybody. Where they seek to divide us, our values are what unite us. Where they seek to dictate, lecture and limit opportunity, our values offer young people hope and the chance to succeed. The extremists have no vision for Britain that can sustain the dreams and ambitions of its people. Theirs is a negative, depressing and in fact absurd view of the world, and it is one we know that in the end we can expose and defeat. But there is increasing evidence that a small but significant number of people living in Britain, almost all of whom are British citizens, reject our values. We've seen the Trojan horse plot to take over state schools in Birmingham, some concerns about religious supplementary schools, widespread allegations of corruption, cronyism, extremism, homophobia and anti-Semitism in Tower Hamlets, hate speakers invited to speak at British colleges and universities, segregation by gender allowed at universities and even endorsed by Universities UK, charities and the generosity of the giving public abused by extremists, examples of Sharia law being used to discriminate against women, thousands of honour crimes committed every year, and hundreds of British citizens who've travelled to fight in Syria and Iraq. We've been clear all along that the government's counter-extremism strategy must seek to defeat extremism in all its forms. But it's obvious from the evidence that the most serious and widespread form of extremism we need to confront is Islamist extremism. Islamist extremists believe in a clash of civilizations. They promote a fundamental incompatibility between Islamic and Western values, an inevitable divide between them and us. They demand a caliphate or a new Islamic state governed by a harsh interpretation of Sharia law. They utterly reject British and Western values, including democracy, the rule of law, and equality between citizens, regardless of their gender, ethnicity, religion, or sexuality. They believe that it's impossible to be a good Muslim and a good British citizen, and they dismiss anybody who disagrees with them, including other Muslims, as kafirs or non-believers.